I have said that birth and death, both these phenomena are beyond our control. But those who accomplish high-level sadhanas like the Mrithyorma Amritham Gamaya sadhana can decide when, where and how to die. Death is the annihilation of life and not a fear. Death is not at all painful. It is rather like an eternal sleep. When we sleep at night, at that time we have no consciousness or sense of ourselves. That is, we don't know where we are or how we are. We have no sense of our state or of time. If some person comes near us, we won't know and he could easily stab us to death. We won't be aware that someone is attempting to murder us. This means that we daily embrace death when we sleep. Sleep is death. In the morning we are reborn and in the night we again pass away into death. Death means losing all consciousness, losing all sense of oneself, forgetting everything. But as this process lasts only for a few hours, it is called sleep. And when this process becomes eternal, it is called death. Hence, there is not much difference between death and sleep. It's been said in Markandeya Purana, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Means, sleep is like a rehearsal of death. There are some special, unique sadhanas through which we can establish control over life and death. Claiming victory over something and just controlling it are two different accomplishments. Controlling means we can choose to die when and where we wish. If we wish to live for 100 years, we can surely do so. Through these sadhanas, we can live to an age of 100, 120, 150, 200 and even 1000 years. Through these sadhanas, we can attain the totality of life. Thus, death occurs only through our desire. Even after death, we can exist as souls with all consciousness of our past knowledge and memories. We may be in any lok, Devalok, Pitrulok, Rakshaslok, Gandharvalok, but we do exist in the form of a small, invisible soul of the size of a thumb. This is why all living beings are said to be Angushta Matra, that is, only of the size of a thumb. This whole body becomes of the size of a thumb, and in such a form, millions of such souls keep wandering with only one aim, and that is to be born once again. It is not in one's hands to be born again. As I told you that there is a chaos and confusion over there, there is no control so that the souls could be reborn one by one. Whoever turns out to be stronger takes birth first. A strong person occupies any piece of land, leaving the real owner standing and staring helplessly. Similarly, the stronger but evil spirits, through wrangling and bickerings, forcibly enter any womb of their choice and are reborn, while the pure divine souls keep waiting for their chance for 2, 5, 10 or even 50 years. As they find it difficult to be reborn, hence evil people today are taking birth in large numbers. This is why immorality, violence, lies, deceit and sins have spread so much on the earth. In such a state, can we save ourselves from all these vices? It is indeed a very sorry state of affairs. We spend a simple religious and spiritual life, and after death we have to wait for years to be reborn. We are unable to take birth even when we so much wish to, so that we could again enter into spiritualism and accomplish more sadhanas, so that we could sit in the Guru's feet, help the poor and assist them. But we can do all this only when we are reborn. And if we are not able to take birth again, then our spiritualism proves to be more a bane than a boon for us. Great souls accomplish special sadhana through which they are able to remember everything about their past lives. Such a person can know where he was born, in which state he was and which sadhanas he had accomplished. Through the powers of the sadhana, he remains aware that he has to be reborn as quickly as possible, and that too in the house of good spiritual parents. The men and women or husband-wife on this earth do not have the power through which they could give birth to divine souls. When the opening to the womb is unrestricted, any soul, evil or divine, enters, and the mother has no other choice but to give birth to it, for she does not know whether the soul is evil or good. This is nothing but a shortcoming, a deficiency in our lives, for we do not have any control over birth and death. We may want to give birth to a good soul, but we do not have any control. We have to allow whichever soul, whether good or bad, to enter, and we have to give birth to it. We have to rear it, and when he grows up, he abuses his parents, carries out antisocial activities, and brings discredit to his parents. The mother has to bear so much pain. She has to suffer for 9 months, and after giving birth, she rears the child with great care. After so much efforts, all she gets is sorrows and pains in return. This is an anomaly of life. This is our deficiency, that we don't even give a thought to it. Even science cannot solve this problem. To find its solution, we shall have to seek the help of divine knowledge and sadhanas. A question arises at this point: can we live as long as we wish? And living here means leading a healthy and disease-free life. If we are alive but ridden with diseases, infirm and bedridden, then even life seems worse than death. Living means we should be healthy, fit, strong, virile, and must have stamina. And the answer to this question is that we can surely lead such a life and can live as long as we wish, that is, for 50 years, 80 years, 100 years, 200 years, or even 1,000 or more years. Believe me, this is possible, and that too in a healthy and fit state. On accomplishing the Mrithyorma Amritham Gamaya sadhana, a transformation takes place in the body. Just as a battery can be recharged when it becomes weak, similarly, when the strength of the body becomes depleted, it becomes weak and infirm and then dies. But if we know some method to recharge the cell of the body, then we can become young and can live for another 60 to 70 years. Through a sadhana this can be done, and it is called Kayakalp, and we can accomplish Kayakalp again and again and can thus live for hundreds of years. For this, Mrithyorma sadhana is best and unique, and this fact has been accepted by the ancient yogis and sages.